Hey everyone, this is the first update since my last one where the miscarriage was confirmed. Since then, it has been about 3 weeks, I think. I'm not sure, but it's been about 2 weeks since I had the D&C done.
Come with me, my love, to the sea of love. I wanna tell you how much I love you.
And it was a little bit different this time because I had it done right in the office of the fertility center. I didn't have to go to the hospital. They didn't put me under general anesthesia. I was just under conscious sedation, which was kind of weird because I remember kind of a lot of it, at least I think in my mind. The procedure is only like 5 minutes long. So I think I remember. I remember telling them that the ceiling looked weird and that I felt like I was drunk. So I remember that part. The doctor was really nice, and it's kind of weird, but I asked her if I could see it, if I could see the baby, whatever came out. And I mean, it was super tiny, but she did show it to me, and maybe she showed it to me because she didn't think that I would remember it, but I do remember. And it was kind of interesting to see that. Most people probably wouldn't want to see it, but I was curious, and it didn't really have a negative effect on me. So that was kind of cool that I was able to see that. And my recovery was just fine. I feel like compared to other people's stories, all three of my recoveries have been really good. Not a whole lot of pain, not a whole lot of bleeding. And I think that I've been lucky in that way. And we went to our follow-up appointment today, right after I got off of work, and all day I did not feel well. I just was anxious and nervous, and my stomach was upset, so I don't recommend making appointments later in the day for anything important like that if you don't have to. So at our follow-up appointment, he let us know that a couple of my test results came back weird. There is a test. I need to find it here because I don't remember. So the abbreviation for it is MTHFR. And it has a really long scientific name that I tried to pronounce, but I didn't have very much luck. But it looks like methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase. Anyway, so that's the test that came back. I guess I have a double mutation. And it affects the way that I absorb folic acid. And folic acid is a B vitamin that's super important during pregnancy. It prevents neural tube defects and things like that. I was overwhelmed with a lot of the information he was giving us, so I didn't really think to ask how that can cause a miscarriage. I mean, we don't really know that that's the cause, but that's one of the tests that came back abnormal. But other than that, it doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal. Another one that he said came back a little bit off was my follicle stimulating hormone, I think it was. He said that number came back high, and what that means is my brain is working harder than usual to produce the hormone to stimulate the eggs to grow. And he said that one wasn't too much of a concern just because I've been able to get pregnant. And again, I didn't think to really ask if that affects my egg quality or if the eggs are maturing. And I guess I don't know very much about it. If the egg doesn't mature, can it even be fertilized? Do I even ovulate? I don't really know that. I am probably going to do a lot more research. And if you guys have any information on that, and if you know anything about that, feel free to comment or text me or let me know what you have found. So yeah, those are the two tests that he said came back not really normal. Mutation obviously is not normal. The other one, the level is just higher. So he said next time I get pregnant, I will have to supplement the folic acid more than usual. I was taking a normal prenatal vitamin that had folic acid in it, so obviously I need more than that because I'm not absorbing it, or the way I metabolize it is not it's not normal, I guess. So those are those two tests, and then he also gave us the results of the genetic testing that was actually done on the baby, or the products of conception testing. And he told us right away that it came back normal XY, and that means it was a boy. And right when he said that, I felt like I couldn't focus on anything else, because I was like, wow, it was a boy and I would have had a son. So that's what's kind of tripping me out a lot right now. That's, I think, what's making this a little bit harder than it might, if I didn't know that it was going to be a boy. But I'm glad I know. When I first got pregnant, for the first time, I decided I didn't want to know what the gender was until the baby was born. But in this situation, I can't really be surprised. Either I know or I don't. And so he told us that right off the bat, and he said it was normal, so there weren't any abnormalities as far as like chromosomes and genetics go. So that's good news. It means that there wasn't anything wrong that way. I was really nervous to go to the appointment. I really thought that they were going to tell us that there was going to be some kind of problem that would have kept happening with every pregnancy. So I'm glad that that's not the case, and I'm just more hopeful now that those two test results did give us more information. So next time we know what to do to try to prevent it. He said that there were 5 causes or reasons why people miscarry. One of them is the genetics. He said there are other things that could be wrong that those tests wouldn't have shown, but there aren't any tests for it, so there's not very much you can do there. The next one was like structural abnormalities with my uterus, and so that's why I need to call in a few weeks, or the next, when my next cycle starts, to have them do a water ultrasound where they will fill my uterus with water and do the ultrasound then to see if there's anything structurally wrong, if there's any polyps, or see if there's uterine septum that's there can be lots of things, I guess, structurally wrong in there. But so far with my other ultrasounds, nothing has shown weird, but I guess with the water it gives them better visibility. So I'll have that to rule that one out. Third one, I think he said, was like my immune system, and there's like anticoagulant disorders and stuff like that. So the other ones I've been tested for, and they've all come back normal. And then the other one was hormones, which he told me my progesterone was low. When they did the test with my second pregnancy, he said it should have been higher, so that's why they had me on progesterone this third time. And then we found out about the folic acid. So those ones we should be able to fix. So if there's anything structurally wrong, a lot of things say that you can have those fixed with surgery, depending on what it is, but that we'll probably find out in a few weeks. But everything else looks normal so far, so I'm hopeful that at least we have a couple of more answers and there's not anything serious that presented from the genetic testing. So I'm really happy about that. And a couple days ago, I finished reading Heaven is for Real, And if you haven't read it or watched the movie, I recommend it because it's just like the story is amazing, and I don't know, in a way the story just made me happy. The book is a lot better than the movie, which is usually the case. But because I am a religious person, the book just kind of hit home a little bit. And I don't want to spoil anything in, the book or the movie, but I definitely recommend it. And it might make you a little bit emotional if, you've struggled with any kind of, fertility issue or, but it's really good. And I'm really glad that my friend Christine recommended it to me. And even my husband wants to read the book now. We watched the movie and he liked it a lot, so that was nice, and he'll be able to read it. But it just made me feel a little bit better. And maybe I'm weird, but I recommend it if you're going through something, like this maybe, and you're religious at all. It might help you. So I just figured I would pass that on. And that's kind of it for now. I had the doctor print out kind of all these test results just because I'm crazy and I like to be able to look at them. But I'm just looking forward to what comes next. He told me we don't really have any reasons to wait to try to get pregnant again. Just go through one cycle and then we can try after that. I don't know if that's what we're going to do, just because we have a lot to talk about. It's a lot of information. And I mean, it's exhausting. It's emotionally and physically exhausting. But I do feel more hopeful now. I don't feel as, negative that, something could be terribly wrong. And there still could be. He said that there are other rare conditions that people can have, but they rule out, the 5 that he mentioned first. And then, he said we'll get into the crazy, more risky tests and things if we get there. So if I were to miscarry a 4th time, then he would, probably look into those, but they're, really expensive, of course. And the test that actually came back with the mutation, the MTHFR, that's the one that ended up not being covered by insurance, and we had to pay $240 out of pocket for that. So even though I was kind of mad that I had to pay that, and obviously I thought if it could tell us anything it would be worth it, and it did. It ended up telling us something. So $240 I think was worth it, to find that out. So you never know. And even though this has been an expensive and emotionally draining journey, I'm just grateful that I have my friends and family that support me. And if you have that, take advantage of it, because a lot of people that I've been talking to, they don't have that, or they don't feel as open that they can share it. So I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that I've been able to share it and that I've gotten so much love and support. And once I have the water ultrasound, I will put another update up for you guys so you can see what the results were of that. And if you have any questions or information, like I said, about the whole, follicle stimulating hormone and how that affects your eggs and ovulation, just let me know. Other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.